Good morning, internet friends. I have been working on GoDBLedger for almost 2 years now. It was a bit of a COVID project that's ballooned out into something that's actually quite useful, I believe now. But what it is an open source accounting system designed for programmers who are looking to automate their entire financial system. It's available on my GitHub, and I am pretty excited to demonstrate the newest feature that I've been working on, which is GoDBLedger-Web. So we have GoDBLedger, which acts as like a backend server for our financials. And I've been working on a GUI front end, so you can actually use an interface to send your manual journals to your system. If we navigate to play.godbledger.com, I have already deployed it to just a cheap $5 a month VPS, and we are given a login page, which I've just got a template holder login here for test at GoDBLedger with password being password. So if we log in, we are brought to a login page that takes us to our manual journals landing page, essentially. The structure of the page is essentially there's this navigation bar on the left with modules and reports. And you can think of modules as like the inputs and the reports as like the outputs to our financial system. So the journal entry / manual journals page is the only real module at the moment. But before we can do anything, we need to add some accounts to our chart of accounts. So we navigate to our chart of accounts page. We can see there's nothing here at the moment. I am just going to make a cash account and an income account. And that's all there is to creating an account at the moment. And if we go back to our manual journals page, we can go to our journal. We add a date, 06-01, test journal, and then we're just going to go 1, 2, 3 here. We're debiting cash $100, and we are crediting, income $100. And when we do that, if our journal balances, it'll allow us to post, and there is our first journal into our accounting system. So we probably want one more. I'm just going to make another account, expense, if I can type, and we'll go back to our journals page, and I'm just going to make another one saying we got $50 to our expense, and it's lowering our cash account by $50 as well. The interesting thing here is this is like a fuzzy date processor, so I can say yesterday and it will pick up what the date is. So post this journal. We've now got 2 journals here. It gives it a journal ID, but it doesn't immediately process that, so we refresh the table and we've got a journal ID here. So both of these journals are now in our accounting system. If we go to our reports page, we can see our trial balance, and we can see that our cash account, which has gone up $100 but then down $50, now is $50 in debit. Our expenses $50 in debit, and our income is $100 in credit. We also can go to the general ledger, and we can see our journal entries shown here. And these are essentially all that the web server can do at the moment. We can make journals on this page, and then we can view the most basic of financial reports that exist. So this is all very exciting. But what this really means, and what sort of excites me about this project, is this is running on a server that I am in control of. Like, I have deployed this on my own server. And that means that we have access to the database, which we can access and analyze. And that is something that cloud accounting software packages would never provide you. They want to lock your data away behind their systems. And, well, you can't play with it. So we've got control of the database. That's great. If we go to, I've got some wikis set up here, but I want to actually have a look at that database. So if I go, this code I've got here, when I've deployed it to a MySQL server, and I can log into that MySQL server remotely. So I'm just going to do that now. And here I am. I am inside the same server that is showing us this web page at the moment. When I'm in here, I can just go select all from transactions. And we can see that there's just 2 transactions at the moment, which are the ones I've done. And again, that's not super exciting, but like, we've got control over it. And what we do with our database is up to us. So I have previously in another video taken this database and I've put another business analytics software package over top of it, which is called Metabase, which allowed us to make a dashboard for these financial transactions. And it meant that like when we do these transactions, we can see a nice little graph that tells us whether or not our income has gone up over the months and stuff. So again, this is all very like nice, but what else do we have access? Well, because we've got access to this computer, and because it's designed for programmers, I have built some quick little Python scripts that can talk to this server. And I have put a repo up at Python client on my GitHub. And if you navigate to it, you can see a bunch of different scripts. I've made this bulk remote one, and what it's going to do is I've created a list of 10,000 journals, and that's just described in a JSON format at the moment. And it's just going to loop over all of those transactions, and it's going to send it to our server that we've got running. So it's running remotely, but on my local computer, I'm going to just run this script, bulk. And what it's going to do is, you can see now it's got 10,000 transactions queued up, and it's sending them over the network to our remote server. I'm going to kill that now because it takes about 10 minutes to run. This is going to send both 10,000 income transactions and it's going to send 10,000 expense transactions, and it's only done 290 or so. But like, that would take about 10 minutes for it to run. And if we navigate back to our like web GUI at the moment, and we go back into one of our reports, we can see we've got quite a lot more going on now because our Python script had been sending transactions. And if we look at our general ledger, you can see the lorem ipsum sort of transactions going on here. So yeah, this is pretty exciting because what it means is we have got a server that's running. We can view the journals and make journals by hand using this web page, or we can send scripts, Python scripts or whatever you want, to send transactions to it as well. And then we have the ability to view our reports, and if we really want to, we can analyze our database and view like dashboards and stuff about like financial data. And we can do that because we have control over this server at the moment. This is ours, it belongs to us. If you would like to deploy one of these yourself, the way you do this is, I've got a wiki set up on GitHub, and it's saying how to deploy the GUI web server using Docker. And really all it is we're cloning the two repos, which is our backend server and our web server. And then we are setting some like domain configs here. So we set the domain and protocol, and then we just call Docker build essentially. And then once that's all built, we just run Docker start. And that's all that this play.GoDBLedger page is doing right now. I've just used my own domain on my own server, and now we can make journals and like pretty much this is the base of the starting point for me to be automating everything. There's some things I've got in the pipeline, such as like bank feeds, but they are still in progress and they're sort of more complicated, and I'm working to get towards those in due time. And I hope you guys find this as exciting as I am. This has been something that's been in the works for quite some time, but yeah, here we go. We have a web server that vaguely looks like a functioning financial system, and I hope you enjoy it. Thanks.